Johnson with PWInsiders.com. Please go ahead.
Hey, Mike. Two's not bad. Mike? All right. Well,
hey, there you guys are.
There you go.
Hello.
How are you?
Hey, Paul. How are you? I'm good. Apparently, you can hear me now.
Yes.
Would this be... Thank you. With 25 takeovers as of this weekend, what do you think has been the biggest learning curve for yourself and for the team that you built to put these shows together? When you look back at NXT Arrival to now, what were the biggest lessons that were learned, and what do you think, looking back, were the biggest milestones in terms of developing the brand and in terms of making this a standalone brand versus just developmental?
Yeah, I think that if you said to me, what is the biggest learning curve, it's I think as you start something, how do you make it have its own identity in and of itself? Not be something else, not be a version of something, not be similar, have it be sort of standalone. And even during the process, trying to adapt talent to all different, not only styles in ring, but of presentation and everything else, without coming across as more of the same. That's been the learning curve for me, and it's been also a unique experience for me to learn from so many of these men and women as they've come in through the system from all various walks of life. It's not about it's not about them all coming from the same place, having the same journey through independent wrestling or through coming in from another company. They've all had a different journey and a different story. Some have been long and been through the independents, but even for them, they've all been different. There's been talent that have mostly been focused and sat overseas. There's been talent that have been all through the U.S. Then we have a lot of talent now that really didn't have that experience. A lot of talent now coming in the door that come from something totally different, and they either grew up loving WWE and wanting to be a part of it, or for some, it was something that they learned to love. And it's one of the things that's frustrating for me sometimes, because I see talent come in that maybe it wasn't their first passion. They enjoyed it or whatever, but then when they come in and they start to do it, boy, they get the bug, and they become one of the most passionate people you have, and they're so immersed, and sometimes it's hard for fans to give them that credit and that leeway for being as invested in it as anybody else is, because maybe they didn't start out that way, or because they came in from someplace else. And it's difficult to watch them struggle with that sometimes. But for me, the learning curve has been having that unique perspective from all of them. I feel like it's made me learn a lot. Guys coming in from the NFL, women coming in from various sports, whether that be soccer or gymnastics or even with MMA backgrounds, and just different perspectives of everything that then shape how you see what we do. That has been unique, and it's been, to be honest, it's been inspiring to me, and it's been very meaningful for me, and it's one of my favorite parts about this. I say it a lot, that anytime I get to go to the Performance Center and be around that varied level of athletes, all so driven and focused, it's hard not to come out of there. It's like a shot of adrenaline. You just you come out of there energized and focused and inspired. It's awe-inspiring.
All right. Quick question about the NXT tag titles. Obviously, ladder match this weekend. I don't think anybody's going to complain about a ladder match with the level of talent that's in there. But talk us through the decision-making process of having the Viking Raiders vacate the belts as opposed to building up to a match where they do the honors for somebody else.
Yeah, so, look, it's always a mix with the story of how you want to build to something like that, knowing that they were going to get you being used on Raw and SmackDown, knowing that it had sort of already taken place. Do you want to put put them into something and try to build a big storyline and try to negate the fact that, well, in some ways they're gone, right? Or do you vacate and try to let teams come up and fight amongst themselves to do it? There's always a mix of how you want to get there with those things. Hopefully you make the right call and you make it as entertaining as possible. Like you said, where I think I netted out was, I don't think anybody's going to complain about a ladder match with this level of talent. I'm excited to see it, and I think you could look at everybody that's in there and make an argument from Danny and Oni as the underdog team all the way through, that you could make an argument of who should take those titles, and it would be hard to argue with. So I'm excited to see it. You can't call it.